Hi class, in this video I will show you a few problems from your WebAssign section 4.4 equations of a line. The first question says determine the slope of the line. The best way to determine the slope is to rewrite the equation in slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, and the coefficient m is the slope. So I'm going to take this equation, 9x minus 2y plus 10 equals 0, rearrange the parts until it looks like the slope-intercept form. So I will minus 9x and 10 from both sides. I'm going to do that at the same time. The 9x cancel and the 10s cancel. This leaves me with negative 2y equals, I don't need that 0 anymore because now I have the negative 9x and negative 10. Next, divide everything by negative 2. And this simplifies to y equals negative 9x divided by negative 2 is a positive 9/2 x. Negative 10 divided by negative 2 is positive 5. This is the equation in slope-intercept form, but this is not the answer. The answer specifically asks for the slope of that line. You just need to type in the fraction 9/2. This question says use the point-slope form to write an equation of the line. Write the equation in slope-intercept form. Okay, so there's two types of forms. We've talked about this in class, or hopefully you've watched a few videos. Point-slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And then we just did slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. This problem gives us the ordered pair negative 1, 1, and a slope of negative 1, 6. So I'm going to plug these values into the point-slope form. Y minus 1 equals negative 1, 6 times x minus negative 1. To simplify that, I'll keep the y minus 1 equals negative 1, 6 x. This will be add the opposite, so this will really be x plus 1. When I distribute the negative 1, 6 to a positive 1, it's negative 1, 6. Now add 1 to both sides. Y equals negative 1, 6 x plus 5, 6. And that's what you would type into your answer box. Okay, this question says consider the following, and then we have a graph. It has a straight line, and then we have an ordered pair just out here by itself. Question A, write an equation of the line that passes through the point and is parallel to the given line. Anytime you see this phrase, equation of a line, it's talking about y equals mx plus b. Okay, so let's talk about parallel lines. In order for lines to be parallel, the slopes need to be the same. So we need to find the slope of the line that's already given. I'm going to just eyeball it. I'm going to identify two ordered pairs that cross right at an intersection on the grid. And rise over run would be up 2 and over 2, or I could have done up 1 over 1 because this is a dot on the line too. So the slope is going to be 1. So my new equation, slope is also going to be 1. But now it needs to go through the ordered pair, negative 1, negative 2. The point slope form would be y minus negative 2 equals 1 times x minus negative 1. That simplifies to y plus 2 equals, when we distribute the 1, it's not going to change anything. This is x plus 1. Subtract 2 from both sides. Once you subtract 2 from both sides, this will be x minus 1. And so that's your parallel line. Next, it says write an equation of the line that passes through the point and is perpendicular to the given line. I'm going to erase the work that I did for the parallel line to show you how to determine the perpendicular equation. If the original line has a slope of 1, the perpendicular slope will be the opposite reciprocal, which in this case it will just be a negative 1. If we use the point slope form, it'll be y minus negative 2 equals negative 1 times x minus negative 1. That simplifies to y plus 2 equals negative 1 times x plus 1. To distribute the negative 1 to both of those terms, this will be y plus 2 minus x minus 1. Subtract 2 from both sides. Y equals negative x minus 3. And that is the perpendicular equation that goes through the ordered pair negative 1, negative 2. Okay, let me talk to you about vertical and horizontal lines for just a minute. So take a look at these pictures. When you're working with a vertical line, the equation will be x equals the x coordinate because it forms a vertical line. So for example, take a look at this red line. If we say it's crossing 1.5, do you see that it doesn't matter which point on the y-axis x is always going to be over here on this 1.5 line. And so vertical lines, even though it's running parallel with the y-axis, the equation will actually be x equals, for this example, 1.5. Okay, so now look to the right side of the screen. Horizontal lines are in the form of y equals the y-coordinate. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3. We'll call this point here in green, we'll call it 3.5. And again, it doesn't matter if x is 1, if x is 2. The y-coordinate will always be 3.5. And so the equation to a horizontal line is always y equals the y-coordinate. Okay, so on WebAssign, you'll have an example like this. It will say graph these 2 points and write the equation of a line. Okay, if we do 6, 4, there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6, 4, and that is 3, 4. There's only one line that connects those 2 dots, and it's a horizontal line. Okay, now to come up with that equation, because it's a horizontal line, it will be y equals the y-coordinate, which is 4. Okay, take a look at this question. If I plot these 2 points, 4, negative 1.5 would be about there, and then 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.5. Okay, the line that goes through these 2 points is a vertical line. All vertical lines, the equation is x equals the x-coordinate. So this will be x equals 4. It doesn't matter what the y-coordinate is, because the x-coordinate for this line will always be 4. And so the equation of this line is x equals 4. And that's all for this video. Please let me know if you have any questions.